Power, Incompetence and Influence, a Machiavellian and Psychological Analysis. 1. Orientation. You examine why visibly less competent actors often gain authority while abler counterparts stall, focusing on appearance management, cognitive biases, and incentive structures that reward confidence and simplicity over substance. Footnote. You treat the paradox of incompetent power as a system effect rather than a personal anomaly. 2. Machiavellian frame. You apply a realist conception of rule by noting that perception routinely outruns reality, so appearing capable outweighs being capable when audiences judge from distance rather than contact, a point echoed in Florentine statecraft. Footnote. You privilege optics and control of impressions as first principles of accession and retention. 3. Intelligence as liability. You recognize that high cognitive complexity invites hesitation, nuance, and self-questioning, which can underperform in arenas that reward bold assertion and simple claims, as the contrast between Socrates and mass plebiscites historically shows. Footnote. You distinguish analytic excellence from political fitness when audiences prize certainty. 4. Overconfidence advantage. You account for the Dunning-Kruger dynamic where the less skilled overrate competence and project certainty, and peers then mistake that certainty for leadership even when performance does not justify it. Footnote. You treat confidence signaling as a persuasive shortcut that defeats measured expertise. 5. Network degradation. You expect insecure leaders to select weaker subordinates to avoid threat, creating homophily and cascading competence droughts that institutionalize mediocrity across layers of an organization. Footnote. You read personnel choices as the most reliable index of a ruler's practical intellect. 6. Cognitive closure. You observe that under threat people seek quick certainty and embrace black and white narratives while resisting nuance, which lets simple framings defeat accurate but qualified analysis. Footnote. You identify need for closure as the valve through which simplistic leadership enters. 7. Moral constraint gap. You accept that actors willing to learn how not to be good can outcompete scrupulous rivals, as seen when Julius Caesar prevailed while Cicero and other principled figures lost ground within collapsing norms. Footnote. You note that unburdened rivals gain access to tactics that constrained adversaries will not use. 8. Environmental selectors. You separate fields with tight feedback and hard outcomes, which select for competence, from domains with delayed or manipulable metrics, centralized discretion, information asymmetry, and short-term incentives, which let incompetence persist. Footnote. You treat governance, measurement design, and rewards as switches that tune merit selection. 9. Manipulative toolset. You catalog tactics by which weak leaders endure, including tribal and group construction, identity fusion, chaos generation to overload attention, doublethink that blurs accountability, and exploitation of economic insecurity. Footnote. You focus on predictable psychological levers rather than exceptional charisma. 10. Individual defenses. You build resilience through intellectual humility, media literacy that filters spectacle from substance, and reflective practice drawn from Stoic discipline and Bacon's counsel that opportunity can be made. Footnote. You adopt habits that reduce susceptibility to certainty theater and outrage cycles. 11. Institutional safeguards. You specify robust accountability with independent oversight, cognitive diversity to widen error checking, and transparency regimes that prevent complexity from hiding failure, alongside education that trains critical and ethical reasoning. Footnote. You engineer structures that reward long-term accuracy over short-term performance mirages. 12. Conclusion. You read Machiavelli as a diagnostician rather than an advocate and assert that understanding dark dynamics enables systems that elevate merit while coupling intelligence with moral courage to counter manipulation. Footnote. You close by affirming that clear-eyed realism is a precondition to designing for better rule.